All right, let's do it. All right, so what comes to mind when you hear the word DJ? Is it that person on the radio who plays music every now and then in between all the good commercials? Or maybe it's that person at your high school party that got paid $1,000 to play a bunch of songs, and except they don't have the one you want, right? That's not uncommon. Let's compare that to what you would think of when you hear the word rock star. Usually this is somebody who can play an instrument really well or has this voice that just like is unheard of, that when that person sings out loud it just makes your spine tingle, right? It's somebody who does something so well that tons of people are willing to just throw money at them and come see them live. And so this is actually me in high school. I thought that if I played guitar every single day, that eventually I would be able to be a rock star, and I was 99% sure that I was going to do it. And I have to say thank gosh for all those high school friends I had that were willing to come out and watch. But the truth is, you're not a rock star until you can get 80,000 people to come out and watch you and give you $150 to sit, like, 500 yards away just to see you on stage do whatever it is that you do. So it's pretty interesting because these days, well, let me talk about these people for a second. This is a DJ supergroup. Their name is the Swedish House Mafia, and in the last few months they had a sort of like one last tour. They drew 1 million people in just a couple short months. They played 5 shows in a row in San Francisco, Bill Graham Civic Center, and they sold out 4 of them within the first 10 minutes. And the most amazing part is that they did it with this. So this is a kind of a glorified iPod, if you will. Those are the modern day equivalent of turntables. And in the middle there, that's a mixer. And what they're doing is they're just playing songs. So they're using this to cue up one song, cue up the next song, maybe blend them together. And this is a real picture. This is a guy named Tiesto. Those people are there to see him. This is what people are listening to these days. I mean, rock will always have its place, but somehow these people are coming out to see these DJs. And you have to ask, are they crazy? What are they doing? But the answer is no. And let's go back to the music for a second. This is a graph of the evolution of dance music over the last, well, however many years up until about 2009. And if you were to see what happened over the last 3 years, this thing called electronic dance music came out of Europe and is basically spreading into the United States and everywhere around the world. And what makes this up? So let me take it from the top. This is what a concert looks like, generally. They play a song, they stop, they play the next song, they stop, they play the next song, right? So, and that's pretty awesome, because you love all these songs and you know all the lyrics, and you can't wait till that one at the end where, that's your favorite one and you can say an encore. Well, a DJ show looks more like this. So the big difference is that the song never ends. You start the second song before the first song ends and you blend them together, and a really good DJ is somebody who can blend them together so well that you just don't notice. It's just one long experience, and there's changes in energy, but it just seems like one thing. But the thing is, what really makes a good DJ these days, the ones that are rock stars, they're not just DJs, they're producers. This is kind of a schematic of what a typical song looks like. You have all the different instruments. They all have one part, so that they can be played live in front of people. There might be some backup vocals and some little effects they do, but this is an electronic music song. First thing you'll notice is that every track there is actually it's a symphony of tracks. Right? These are very detailed songs, and people go in and they paint every single note and make sure it hits at exactly the right time. They're incredibly intricate in detail. And they're also playing with these instruments that look nothing like anything you could possibly play. But you can actually go in and change the shape of the sound, and people not only paint the notes, but they paint the way these knobs twist and turn so that it makes just the right sound at just the right time, and they can blend everything together into this sort of beautiful soundscape. So the other thing is, because they are DJs, they get to play not only their songs, but other people's songs too, and they layer all these together, and that's the part that they're doing live, right? But the songs, when they're put together this way, it's sort of like this mixture of it's like the perfect show for somebody who has ADHD, who wants to hear all their favorite songs, but also all this guy's songs, but that's not quite enough. Even Jimi Hendrix, he knew that people don't just want to come and stand in a bar and talk to each other. you need to do something so that they're looking at you, right? Because when people are looking at the same thing, they don't do awkward things and break off into separate groups and do things. It's a shared experience, and so that's where these guys come in. This is a guy named Daft Punk. He was one of the originals to do this kind of electronic music thing, and he would dress up like a robot, and his face, all these lights would go crazy, and there was this huge pyramid thing, and it was just like this amazing sort of rock show. And so what it was is a performance. So he's on stage, and there's something to look at. These performances are so amazing these days that this is the Swedish House Mafia, right there. You can't even tell that they're there for the most part because it's really just this experience, right? And so you're there, and it's more about the crowd, it's more about you sort of releasing and letting go and seeing something amazingly cool, and just trying to just sort of let go. And then when you take that and you put 25 of these people together into like one massive sort of concert thing, they attract 500,000 people, and this is what people are doing today. And it's really, really awesome. And it's sort of like a way to get people together, and that's really what it's about. It's about getting people together. So what is the rock star of the future? Well, there's always going to be a place for this guy who can perform and do something that the average person can't do. But there's definitely also a place, by the way, that's Dead Mouse. He dresses up like a mouse, and his head does all these crazy things. Or maybe even something in between, and there's reasons why that hasn't happened yet. It's actually pretty tricky, but they at least got one person on board, and that's me. For the last year, I spent my time trying to figure out what's up with all this DJ stuff. So I'm going to be playing my first live DJ show this weekend at Monroe and SF. I'm going to be playing acid jazz and mixing it with live keys. So that's what a DJ is.